Coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, a very good afternoon to everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on our sunset safari on this beautiful Sunday afternoon here at Djuma Private Game Reserve in the world-renowned Sabi Sands. Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Cedric, and behind the camera with me on Emosi, we've got the glitz, we've got the glamour, we've got, oh, you good man, Panda. So it's nice having him back on board with me this afternoon. But yes, joining us this afternoon on Drive, we're gonna have old Ben and Paul on Sentinel, and down in the Eastern Cape in Amakala, Eric and Morgan, and our wonderful team there in Johannesburg. Our two directors for this afternoon is Nadine and Chulu, and our fantastic tech guru that side is X. Yes, and our tech guru this side is Alex. Well, as you can see, everybody, it is alive. This is an interactive show. So if you've got any comments or any questions that you want to send through to us this afternoon, and if you are watching on the Wild Earth YouTube channel, yes, make sure that you join up as a member and send those comments and questions through. Or if you're watching on the Wild Earth website, that is wildearth.tv, make sure that you do register so you can go and send comments and questions through, or just join us on X and go on to #WildEarth and then have a good old conversation. Well, as you can see, I am standing on top of one of the hyena dens here on Taxons Road. I love coming to this area or this site just to see if anything has changed, but this is still very active. So what I'm checking here now all of a sudden, because I'm not going to go in front there, definitely not, because I'm sure it's warthogs that's inside here, because I saw warthogs coming out here yesterday. So I saw warthog bolting out here yesterday. So the warthogs are using this as a burrow at the moment. Now there's bones on the outside. I just see there's some teeth and all that. So I'm going to try and move to the side here and try and grab this, see if I can. Now, why is there bone and teeth here? Well, and there's even more bone in the entrance there as well of this burrow. The big thing is, when a warthog, remember this used to be a hyena den. So the hyenas took the carcasses, the cubs took the carcasses inside there, and they chewed on the carcass, ate inside of the mound itself. And now, because there's no hyenas around here anymore at this den site, it's warthogs. So what the warthog does, all the bone fragments and everything that was inside of the den, the warthogs have been scraping everything out, just kind of cleaning out the burrow, so making it nice and clean for themselves. Sorry. I don't want to go in front there. Well, this warthog comes out rounding out here. Alright. Now we've got like a, what's this, like a hip bone. A hip bone, eh? It's a hip bone. You can see that. Beautiful. Oh, Shiv, yes, this almost looks like a flipper. You can actually use this as a flipper. So if you need to go swimming in the dams, just wrap maybe some string around here and make it a flipper. Yes, I got a beautiful flipper. Maybe Byron can use it for his bodyboarding. Okay. And then we've got some teeth. Now I'm not too sure what teeth this is from. Maybe it could be impala. It looks like some molars here. So it could be very likely impala teeth, like a jawbone. Maybe the bottom jaw, I'm not too sure. But you can see all the little ridges on there, and quite a few little molars on that side. So typical for a herbivore, grinding away at the vegetation. There's so many more bones there. Just when I went around there, I just took a look there now. There's a whole collection of bones there. It's a bone collector here. Pieced here. No, the warthogs won't eat the meat here. There's no meat pieced here. I think there's just bones from what the hyenas left behind. that actually kind of, where the warthogs just kind of pushed it out here. They don't want these bone fragments lying all inside of the burrow. So I'm sure this warthog might be around here, or they might even be inside here. Maybe a little bit nervous to come out. So I'm just going to let them be. I'm just going to leave this here. And yeah, I don't want to go and disturb too much this side. But on top of that, I'm going to look at other den sites as well, just to see if any maybe ribbons come back this side with the cubs. I tried to look this morning at the den sites. There was no visual of any hyenas around that side. So yeah, I'll go take a look very shortly. But anyway, while we're going to go and do that, I think let's head over to Ben, as he wants to say good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Cedric, for your little investigative work there at one of those dens. We are sitting at Gowrie Dam, or Gowrie dried up mud area, I think it would have to be called now. But we have an African fish eagle keeping a very careful vigil, although I'm not sure really on what, because there is nothing more than a tiny little muddy splodge in the centre of what used to be Gowrie Dam. We are so in need of rain, despite the little tiny bit of rain we had the other day. We do need lots more, but having just checked the forecast now, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all forecast for some potential rain. So we are crossing fingers that in a week or two's time, Gowrie Dam will at least have some water in it. But my name is Ben. On camera, I have Paul. We also have Sia with us as well. There she is. Paul's blocking her. There's huge muscles of yours, Paul, just getting in everybody's way. But we are out and about this afternoon. Our plan involves sort of checking along the Mlowathi, because it's actually very warm this afternoon. It was nice and cool this morning, but it's very warm this afternoon. It's going to be even warmer again tomorrow. So I figured drainage lines might be a good place to look at. And then I am going to take a little trip, depending on what we find, to Chitwa this afternoon, because I have not been onto Chitwa yet since I've been back, and I would like to see the dam, and maybe, because we have somewhat been devoid of cat fortune of late, maybe I get to see Kuchava, and I believe she may have some little ones, so let's not get too excited, but let's cross fingers. Good afternoon, Storybook. Thank you very much for your greetings. We are doing well. I hope you are doing equally well and ready to join us on the largest safari vehicle in the world. And what a lovely way to start. There is something hugely iconic about a fish eagle. It's been very nice to have one hanging out here this afternoon. I heard it calling, and that very distinctive that fish eagles make was echoing through camp, and it really did remind me of Africa. It's one of those calls, the fish eagle, the zebras calling with that sort of whooping, hyenas, lions roaring. These are all things that I very much associate with our beloved Africa. It was very, very nice to hear this afternoon. But I don't know what this fish eagle is going to be looking to eat. I mean, there are still, I can see some movement in what is left of that little muddy puddle. So there are one or two catfish still flopping around in there. But remember, those catfish are capable of digging themselves down into the ground and coating themselves in a mucus, which sounds delightful, but they can survive these drier periods going into a state of aestivation, basically. But not a bad start to the afternoon. Okay, let's send you down to Amakhala, where Eric and Morgan are also out and about. Let's go and say a great group. Just a good afternoon, that'll do. A good afternoon to Eric.
Good afternoon everybody, and welcome back to another Sunset Safari. And you're here live with us at Amakhala Private Game Reserve in the very southern parts of the Eastern Cape, South Africa, where we are at our very favorite little advantage point overlooking what is the dune forest of Amakhala. Hello everybody, my name is Eric, joined by Morgan behind the camera, and this afternoon we are going to be scratching around looking for all sorts of creatures, big and small, here in our environment. It is a fairly windy day. We had a nice morning this morning where it was very calm, no wind at all, very hot though, but it seems to have cooled down now. It's probably about 28 now. It's definitely not the 30-degree temperature that it was, throughout the middle of the day. It was very, very warm, but there's a nice cool breeze. It's a very cool wind coming from the south, so from the ocean, bringing that lovely cold air, and is cooling our atmosphere down. So hopefully the nice cool wind will bring our animals out, and hasn't chased, well, I suppose the heat would have chased them away underneath all sorts of bushes to the water holes, but we're hoping that they're all going to come out when it's nice and cool. Hoping this afternoon is going to be a exciting one.
Join Wild Earth Travel on a unique nature adventure in the Greater Kruger Park. Legendary master tracker Renius Mhlongo leads a 4-day animal tracking experience, followed by 3 nights in the Sabi Sand Nature Reserve. This experience offers a life-changing chance to track Africa's iconic animals on foot with a master of his craft. Renius is joined by Wild Earth presenter and expert storyteller Amy Krantz, and together they will connect you to Africa's wild heart.
Every guide in Africa has been on an endless quest for the ultimate bush wear. Until now. Rugged Wear has a huge range of amazing bush gear for every wild situation. In the midday heat, those chilly winter mornings, in the storms of summer. Rugged Wear has the bush kit for every wild occasion. Locally made in South Africa, crafted with precision, stitched with quality.
Join the Wild Earth Explorers program and connect with a community passionate about wildlife. Support our mission to share authentic wildlife experiences with the world. Your monthly contribution helps provide schools and children access to kids' safaris, fostering a love for nature in the next generation. Embrace the wonders of the bush and make a difference today. Wild Earth, connecting with nature. We have some exciting news for our Wild Earth travelers. Book a trip to any of our locations through Wild Earth Travel and you'll get an exclusive dinner with one of our expert guides. Imagine dining under the stars and sharing stories with your favorite Wild Earth presenter. It's the perfect bonus to your dream safari. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
As well as swift swallows and martins. They might use the wind to help, fly their little fighter jet bodies to catch flies. And the vultures will also use it. Funnily enough, actually, this morning, we saw some vultures, which was very exciting, and we saw 6. There were 6 of them that were flying sort of around this area, and we're hoping that we may see them again this afternoon. I don't know if the wind has sort of blown them away, or I hope not, but they did look like they were exploring, and this is a good sign. This is a very, very good sign. Hoping the lions can make a big kill on something. I know it's obviously 2 very powerful, or 2 of our most powerful lions. Together, the big male lion, Guapo, and our big lady, Patricia, who looked a little bit pregnant, but time will tell. We're going to send you over to watch a beautiful clip that was taken this morning of a European roller with Ben.
Yeah, we found ourselves a European roller. We've been seeing more and more of the Europeans over the last week or so, but I think this is the first one that I've managed to get to sit still long enough. But nice to see another one of our Palearctic migrants. So, as the name suggests, the European roller goes all the way up to Europe, and it's a non-breeding visitor for us here. So they breed during the European summer, and then once the European winter kicks in, so now. They make their way all the way down to the southern end of Africa and overwinter here because, again, they are insect-eating birds as a rule, and there are plenty of insects around, or there should be plenty of insects around this time of year to feed them. But very similar in terms of shape and size to the very more famous resident lilac-breasted roller that we see very regularly. Not quite as brightly coloured, more dominated with this sort of turquoise and brown contrasting feathers, lacks the diversity of colour that the lilac one has. And the European roller is slightly bigger. You can see quite a heavy beak that it's got, and he'll specialise in things like crickets and grasshoppers, beetles, potentially even like small scorpions and the like. Okay, that was a nice European roller sighting this morning, and I know Cedric also got a purple roller almost immediately afterwards, so it was nice to see some of our roller families. We were discussing the racket-tailed roller as well, which is the elusive one that only occurs right up in the north of Kruger and up into sort of the Zimbabwe area. But I also saw this afternoon a greater blue-eared starling, which may not be the most exciting of the birds, although it still has that beautiful iridescent colour, but we don't normally get very many of them here. We get the glossy starling, and the two of them look very, very similar, but in my experience you'll normally get one or the other in an area. It's like one outcompetes the other one. If you go to some of the rest camps in the south of Kruger, you get lots of blue-eared starlings there, but they do look very similar. Nancy, how does rain affect birds in flight? Well, they don't do a lot of flying when it is raining because their feathers get waterlogged, and it's a bit heavy and it's awkward and potentially dangerous for them to be flying, so they normally shelter in and amongst the vegetation if it's wet, and then after the rain you'll often see them sitting on an exposed perch in the sun with their wings open a little bit just to sort of air dry basically. So you won't see too many birds flying around in heavy rain. A bit of drizzle is okay. In fact, they quite like a bit of drizzle, I would think, because of the metabolic heat produced during flight. It's quite an expensive in terms of energy exercise flying. It's why they have those special air sacs in their lungs to allow enough oxygen to those muscles. That's why they have a very fast metabolism as well. Some species, food is passing through their body in as little as half an hour. And the good thing for many of the insect-eating birds, of course, is rain stimulates insects, and that's a good source of food, even for birds that don't traditionally eat insects. If there is a prevalence of them, like a termite emergence. Oh, it's a warthog. He's just having a mud bath, but he's a bit skittish. Come back, Mr. Warthog. If we stop, are you going to stop? Maybe. You might just see a warthog bottom in the distance there. Never quite know which end of the warthog you're looking at, do you? There's a nice big male warthog there. Hopefully you can see him in the shadows there. Those big warts under his eyes. But he was having a nice little mud bath. Not quite sure about us though. Come back to your mud bath. Right, we might see if this warthog returns to his wallowing. Let's send you over to Cedric and see what he's found for us this afternoon.
All right, so as you know, it's a fairly warm day today. I think the temperature is around about 34, 35 degrees Celsius today. So it's a lovely warm day out here in the bush. And there's one a kind of animal that really enjoys the sun is pretty much your cold-blooded animals. And this one is a snake. Now you can see that this snake was sunning here on the road today. So I'm just going to show you. Unfortunately, their car has driven over. It is a service road. It is quite a busy road, this. So you can see this little kind of S that we've got out in the sand. This side, and then there's a better one here. You can see this one as well, Panda. And you can see clearly here, flattened out here, with this little kind of a little dune on the one side, another little dune on the other side here. So if you want to see, and you know it's like now a snake, if you want to kind of predict on which direction the snake is going, the easiest thing is to do is to look at these dunes. Look at these little dunes here. Now you can see that this dune is pretty much been pushed that way. This one has been pushed that way. So what happens, snake will push to move that way, push to move that way. So this snake was lying here and eventually came across the road, pushing, and you'll come take a look here. Look at this dune here as well, a little ridge here and a little ridge here. Typical, pushing there, another one here, pushing that side and going over into that direction, into the bush veld. I just took a little bit of a walk around there now, just to see if we can pick up, maybe it might be lying in the tree or something. I'm sure this might be like a black mamba or a snouted cobra, something like that. It's something quite large. It's not a small snake. It's not like a little spotted bush snake or a vine snake. This is something quite substantial. So I'm not going to continue walking in there. It's the last thing I want to do is try and go and how can I say, push through all the leaves and that, and next moment the snake might be there. So it's not a good idea. So I'll just let it be. And yeah, but it is typical for this day. I'm hoping we're going to find more snake tracks this afternoon. It's going to be fantastic. I'm hoping that we do find a snake. So that I'm going to try, when I do see snake tracks, I'm going to try and look around and try and see if I can investigate, and maybe we're going to get lucky with a snake that's going to be lying up in a tree here somewhere. All right, let's go and do that.
7 nights on safari during the magnificent green season. The rains have stopped, the land is emerald, and there are wild babies everywhere. Meet your favorite presenters.
This is amazing.
And create unforgettable memories on this once-in-a-lifetime adventure.
Thank you for coming along on this little adventure.
The Green Season Grand Tour, only with Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive. Welcome to a new era of seamless travel. Enjoy a hassle-free ticket purchase system with an effortless check-in, offering unbeatable value and a variety of options. Redefine business travel with Africa's award-winning value-based airline. FastJet, value, choice, flexibility. Come with us on a beautiful wildlife journey with Safari Spotlight. 4 unique South African locations, countless unforgettable moments, jam-packed with exhilarating and inspiring wildlife sightings. Bringing you intimate and exciting virtual safaris.
And it jumped up like this and shimmied all the way up.
Enjoy jaw-dropping moments as we tell authentic conservation story. Safari Spotlight is your ticket into the heart of the African wild. It's finally here, the next Wild Earth Grand Tour. Get ready for 7 unforgettable nights of prime wildlife viewing in the Sabi Sands during peak predator season. Immerse yourself with past and present Wild Earth presenters. Participate in a rhino conservation experience and get a behind-the-scenes look at wildlife filmmaking. Hosted by James Hendry. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
Hello, young men. Oh, it's black cuckoo shrike calling somewhere. Some young boys here. As you can see, they've had a nice mud bath, but bit difficult with the lights this afternoon. But you can see very much hoovering up all of this nice grass. You get some lovely grass that grows in these shadier areas. Things like white buffalo grass, very prevalent here. But anywhere where there's shade and close to water, you generally get tastier snacks for these animals. You're going to hide behind a tiny little buffalo thorn. Thank you, elephant. Let's move forward. If I go forward a bit more, is that really going to mess with you in the sun, Umpel? Aish, says Umpel. We can. Okay, let's see if we can find a better angle for you. At the moment, casting some severe shadows and light contrast. Ah, there we go, he's moved into a far better position. It is, Laura, yes, we all love elephants for their antics. And so you never know what you're going to get with these young bulls. This sort of age, he's probably in his early 20s, I would think, this one. They're still sort of finding their feet. They're not quite big enough to be dominant bull elephants yet, so they haven't quite got the confidence levels of some of the big ones. Which can mean one of two things. They're either a little bit more skittish and unsure of themselves, or they might be a bit aggressive because they see us as an opportunity to prove their worth. Which Jason, he does a little bit, but in fairness to him, he's just got out of the shower. He's had a nice little mud wallow, so maybe he's feeling a little bit bashful. It was quite nice to see him just dismiss that branch there. You often find there's nice grass growing under dead branches like that. It's one of the ways that we try and promote growth in areas that have been overgrazed or had disturbance. That's what we do what's called brush packing. So we place a whole bunch of branches horizontally across an area, horizontal to the flow of the water, so across the slope, as it were. Because what happens in those areas where there is very little vegetation is, if there is rain, when there is rain, we have what's called sheet erosion, and it just washes away any seeds that are trying to bed themselves in that area. And by putting little branches down, it allows the seeds to stabilize onto something. They then can germinate, send forth their roots. That stabilizes the soil, and everything starts to recover. So you'll often find that, say, you get some really nice grasses growing under those fallen trees, because it's just a safer area and other animals can't get to it to take the young shoots, which are often the most tasty. So it's another reason why elephants are actually handy for the environment. I think there was Gift. Was that right, Nadine? Gift, if that was not your name, my apologies. Small objects getting stuck in an elephant's trunk. I imagine that they could do, but I've never seen one with a blocked nostril. I would think if anything does get stuck in there, they would just blow their nose quite hard, which if you've ever been too close to an elephant, we have all at one point been covered in a little bit of elephant sputum, which is never very nice, and they kind of almost sneeze from time to time. But they do have a valve at the top of that trunk, so when they suck up water it doesn't go into their sinuses or anything like that. So probably is the answer, although I don't think it's anything to be too concerned about. Right, let's see if we can just drop down into the Mawati drainage line, if I can find a gear. There we go. Hold on, everybody. Maybe we bump into Columbo whilst we're down here, because we're pretty sure she's in this drainage line system somewhere, our elusive leopardess, who we haven't seen for a few days. Just like to give elephants a little bit more space when we're in a position like this. You see, we're in a drainage line and we haven't got too much room to manoeuvre. They look completely chilled, completely relaxed, but you never know. So it's in a situation like this where we would have to manoeuvre to get out of it. I always like to give these animals a little more space than we would do if we had the safety net of a road in front of us. But they seem to be quite happy. Good afternoon, cat fan. Well, they can get stung. I mean, I don't think it's going to matter too much if they get stung on the body, but if they get stung on the trunk or those areas, or areas where things are a little bit thinner, maybe on the ears, it's going to be fairly unpleasant. I've heard stories of elephants getting being stung on their trunk by bees, even one of a snake that wrapped itself around an elephant's trunk and sent the elephant crazy with irritation. But I think they've just learnt that noise. One of the reasons that they don't really like drones either. You can actually potentially scare off an elephant with a drone because it sounds like bees. But there must be some sort of learnt behaviour to dislike bees, certainly, but it's the noise as much as anything else, that association with it. But they're funny things, elephants. I mean, they're absolutely massive, but they can get a fright literally from a mouse. I mean, something small running around their feet can send them into great distress, send them trumpeting and running all over the place. Okay. Sorry if we had an issue with my audio there. Real Shamwari, you are enjoying these drainage lands. Well, so do we. It's a good place to come and have a look for things, particularly on a hot afternoon like this. You never know, you might get some nice birds down here. I'm still really looking for a paradise flycatcher. That would be one that I'd like to put on camera for us. Hello, boy. He never stopped eating, but he just gave us a little side glance there.
And then watch your hand up it, Ben.
It does look like just the two of them. That lovely ridge of this. Sorry, Nadine, didn't copy that. Hello, you just gave us a little sniff. So, do we smell bad, buddy? Very peaceful down here. Just had a puffback shrike going. We've got a sort of a semi-leucistic elephant, but doesn't have that completely dark slaty grey colour that we would normally expect. There's definitely some pinks in there, just areas where the melanin is not so prevalent, which is always rather interesting to see. So not a true albino, of course. A true albino would be very, very pale, and then the key feature would be that it has red eyes, because there'll be no melanin in the eye at all. But that's rather special to see, and nice to see it doing so well. Look at him, little pink bits everywhere. We say it day in, day out, but there is something very special about just spending time with elephants and watching them. They give off such an aura. And if you can sort of tune into them, it's very relaxing, it's very peaceful, but say, always be on your guard, particularly with mother with youngster. I wonder whether a mother with a youngster like this who has a pigmentation problem would be any more defensive. I don't know. I don't see why she would be. I'm sure she doesn't see any difference. If they are to be preyed upon, it's harder for them to be camouflaged, and you know, they're an obvious target in a group. And then there are potential issues with sunlight. You've got potential issues with vision and the eyes and the damage that's being done, particularly if there isn't so much melanin in the eye. Hello, little one. So cute.
All right, so that was a nice sighting with that little elephant again. I remember when we had that little pink elephant a few weeks ago, and I'm glad that Ben found that little one again. But this is interesting, everybody. I'm not too sure what this is, so I wonder if you can help me out on this. Let's see what we can do. But this almost looks like little, it's like Nadine says, looks like little red peppers. I don't know if this is now the wild cucumber, if I'm not mistaken, but I might be wrong with that. It's actually a creeper. So this is not from this tree, it's a creeper. So it's coming up here. You can see the little anchor, little branches here that anchors against some of the stems coming out from this tree itself. And you can see that, it's almost like bungee cords that comes out here just to kind of start creeping up here. Yeah, got a beautiful green one here. Look at this. Can you see this one, Panda? So maybe it is a wild cucumber. I might be right. I'm not too sure. It's very difficult. So if anybody does know, please let me know. As you can see as well, the beautiful leaves. It's got this almost like a star kind of shaped leaf as well. Now, I won't go and try and eat this. It's not a good idea, this, because, you know, if you don't know of something in the bush and all that, do not go and eat it, because this is already showing it to me. It's like almost a sign that, especially with the leaf, the shape of the leaf, it's something like the poison apple. And I know the poison apple and all that, it's also got that star kind of shaped leaf, and the same as this one. So I'll rather avoid even thinking of putting this in your mouth. I don't even see, like, baboons have been passed here. There's baboon tracks around here, and I don't even see that a baboon has eaten on this as well. I mean, they would have picked up on this beautiful, lovely red color that sticks out here in the bush itself. So if I'm looking at it where it's going now from here, so I'm just going to try and move here. It's going all the way down this side. Oh. Yeah, Sarah from the UK, it does look like the hot peppers, that grows in your greenhouse. That does look like hot peppers. All right, so it goes all the way down here, and can you see my hand here, Panda? Not really. So, no, you can. And it goes here, and here's like the base of it. So as I said, it's a creeper, definitely some form of creeper, going up, using those little anchor branches, anchoring itself against this main branch of this tree, and then creeping up the side now, right up till here. See, this is pretty much where the last one is right to the top here. Wow. Very, very interesting, and I love this. I've seen it before, but as I said, and it's quite heavy. It's a very heavy fruit, this. But do not eat this. Definitely do not try and nibble on that. Even the birds, I mean, the birds would have picked away at this. So yeah, no, hasn't got any smell, Nadine. No smell, but it's mushy. It's hard, heavy, and mushy as well inside. I can feel, especially if it's ripe. I think this is like the ripe one, and then this one is not ripe. All right. So please, let me know if you know. Send your comments in for this plant, because it'd be very interesting to know this. Oh, who? Siv. I didn't get it. I didn't get the name. Sorry, Nadine, we didn't get the name there. But yeah, interesting. I haven't seen this before around this side. Might be one of the first I've seen in this area. But I think I've seen it along the... Alright, let's move on. Oh. Dirk, you say Dirk. 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 Yes, it looks like a wild cucumber. I'm still going with the wild cucumber. That's where I'm leaning to. So yeah, let's hope and see what you come up with, and let us know. Yes. All right, Panda. Yeah, let's leave the red fruity fruit, the fruity loop there, and let's move on. I don't know. What did you say? Sorry, Nadine. Someone sent photos. Ben. Okay. I'll quickly look here. Sorry everyone, I want to see what Ben sent. So apparently he sent me a photo now. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So what is it then? Balsam pear. Balsam pear. Balsam pear. Okay. It is a climber, and what food? The young leaves and fruits are edible. Oh, maybe I'm not going to try and find chapped hands and feet. Yeah, okay. Fruits, fermented fruits after they've been infused in olive oil is very effective to treating chapped hands, feet, and elbows. All right, so you can take the fruit and put it in some, infuse it with some olive oil, and yeah, you can treat your chapped hands, feet, and elbows with that. And the leaf sap is also said to be so effective a metal cleaner. So yeah, all right, there it is, everyone. Balsam pear. Balsam pear. Thank you, Benjamin. Balsam pear. Well, I'm not going to try that fruit, you know, that's the last thing I want to do. I would get into the rather mud wallow again, but I'm not going to put that into my system. I don't think I will. Maybe give it to Ben. Let's ask Ben to come here and we get it, and he makes something from it, and he digests it.
Experience the magic of the wild on an unforgettable 4-night safari at Mabula Nature Reserve. Hosted by the one and only Stephen Falconbridge. With Steve as your private guide, you'll gain incredible insights into Africa's wildlife, leaving with knowledge and memories to last a lifetime. Get hands-on with conservation, track elusive cheetahs, and even take to the skies on a hot air balloon ride. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
Become a Wild Earth YouTube member today and unlock extras and bonuses, like ad-free streams so you can stay immersed in your safari without any interruption. Have your burning questions answered first by me or other expert naturalists. Join now to avoid missing out on these amazing benefits. Help us connect people to nature.
Wild Earth Travel would like to take you to Namibia and Botswana. Drift over the desert in a hot air balloon, then glide through the lush Okavango Delta in a dugout canoe. This extraordinary journey blends dramatic landscapes with outdoor adventures and unparalleled wildlife encounters. Discover Africa like never before. Book now with Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
We're sitting here, sort of just trying to hide and get away from the wind. This is very, 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 very strong now, and I feel like it's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Well, it's sort of definitely some form of gale force wind. Very, very strong, and it's kicked up a lot of dust, as you can see. Usually we can see some mountains there in the distance. Obviously past that little hill, it's got lots of bushes all over it. Today we are unable to see that because of all the dust and sand and bits of sediment that are in the air and are caused by the amount of wind. Oh, this is the area where our little female caracal is. We don't know if she's still here. I mean, she moves around, as most cats will, and we thought that we would, take a little chance and try and see if we could maybe see her. We've done one of the roads that we saw her last on, and we haven't seen anything just yet. We'll do another road, maybe another loop. But we'll continue sort of scratching around in this area and then around the thicket, because outside of it it's very bad. Our caracals will den in all sorts of places, but this particular lady will probably just find a nice bush or a hollow, or even an empty term. No, maybe not so much an empty termite, but an empty aardwolf burrow or warthog burrow to, make home in. Somewhere where you don't often always see caracals. I've always kind of thought, you think as a small cat, you could potentially find them in trees. Caracals don't necessarily climb up trees. They do, but most of the time it's for safety. So if they're running away from something that they know can't climb up the tree, they'll go up the tree. Absolutely, they'll climb straight up that tree. Often if lions or something like that's chasing them, they can also get to, being a small cat, they can also climb to a lot higher spots in the tree, as to avoid getting attacked, because obviously all cats can climb trees. It's just a matter of, will they climb the tree? A lion can climb a tree, they're just very, very heavy, it's a lot of effort to do so. Leopards climb trees, they're light and able to. They have the ability to do so, and the tools and the flexibility to do so as well, and to pull their prey up. I find it very impressive to watch a leopard hoist its kills. Jilliby, that's the dust I was talking about, and lots of it. There's lots of it. It's all over. And then there's also some stratus clouds that are moving in, which are going to obscure our sunlight, so we're not going to have a sunset this afternoon. We'll have lots of pink sky, lots of pink clouds, orange clouds, dark orange clouds, and then slowly into that dark dark kind of black clouds with the outlines of the orange. Everything's coming sort of from a southwesterly direction, and she's bringing it. Mother Nature's bringing it in. Now, there was an elephant somewhere here that we are also looking for. Hoping we can find him. Otherwise, I think we may have luck with them towards the Dune Forest area. In that bit of thicket, I'm sure they're going to want to get out of this horrible wind. From when we started, I feel like it's kicked up even more. There's lots of dust flying around, so sunglasses are very, very important. I think sunglasses are going to be the MVP today. And for those who don't know who the MVP is, it's the most valuable player. Because goodness gracious, the amount of sand that's been kicked up. When we drive in the direction of where the wind is going, or remotely in that direction, we just create this massive dust cloud behind us that just forms and gets bigger and bigger and bigger as we drive, and it covers us, it engulfs us in dust. Just got to choose those roads that don't go east as much, which is fairly difficult because we are in the far west and having to go east to find animals. But when we drive home, it should be a bit easier. Right, so as you know, Steve Falconbridge is going to be hosting a tour or a safari at Mabula. This is the 24th to the 29th of May 2025, and this is for 5 nights and 6 full days of absolute amazingness. 8 spots available. This is for an exclusive group tour that promises thrilling adventures, and we will share a variety of animal, birds, plant life, and diverse landscapes of Mabula. Mabula offers some of spectacular experiences, including the opportunities to follow wild cheetah on foot, to get involved in the cutting-edge rhino conservation, and you'll be obviously taken in wonders of the mysterious, I'm struggling with this word, mysterious, colourful waterberg in a hot air balloon. So very, very exciting. You must head over to Wild Earth Travel to find out more information about this lovely trip up to Mabula and the waterberg. It looks like mist almost in the distance. Is that bad? Oh, it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. My word.
Join Wild Earth Travel on a unique nature adventure in the Greater Kruger Park. Legendary master tracker Renius Mhlongo leads a 4-day animal tracking experience followed by 3 nights in the Sabi Sand Nature Reserve. This experience offers a life-changing chance to track Africa's iconic animals on foot with a master of his craft. Renius is joined by Wild Earth presenter and expert storyteller Amy Krantz, and together they will connect you to Africa's wild heart.
At Peridot Optics, we're enthusiasts, explorers, and advocates for unparalleled visual experiences. Our journey is a passion for the outdoors and a commitment to enhancing how you see the world by providing cutting-edge sporting optics personalized for you, your lodge, your business, or your best friend.
Use the promo code seen on screen at the checkout to get your discount today.
We are committed to creating high-quality optical products that deliver clear, immersive views, fostering a deeper connection with nature.
We understand that not everybody has got spare pennies to rub together at the end of the month. We're introducing an initiative called Gift an Explorer.
So that those with lots of pennies can gift a Wild Earth Explorer access to those with fewer.
We're aiming for 250 gifts, but the more the merrier.
You can nominate a recipient or keep it anonymous.
It's a great way to share the Wild Earth mission with other nature lovers around the world.
Safari, wine, and waterfalls. The ultimate African adventure. Sip South Africa's finest wines. Experience a world-class safari among Africa's iconic wildlife, and stand in front of Victoria Falls, one of the natural wonders of the world. All this can be yours with Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
And remove those ticks from the areas that they can reach. And particularly the ground-dwelling birds, obviously. And they say one of the major, or I won't say threats, but one of the major vectors of spreading the Lyme disease in the States are things like thrushes, because they spend a lot of their time moving around on the ground. And I'm sure over here things like the guinea fowl and the francolins will also pick up plenty of ticks. There's quite a lot of elephant activity here. Sandy, you want to know more about the mating ritual of a roller? I can try. So the males and the females, say there's no difference between them in terms of their coloration, but the males do an excellent job of trying to attract the females with their displays. So they tend to fly up in circles, making that rather unpleasant squawking noise that we associate with the rollers. They gain height going round and round, and when he's got enough height, they sort of swoop up. Well, if we go this way, you can see they swoop up, and then they sort of almost do a stool turn and drop, and then swoop up again and drop, and swoop down and up, and then the last bit he'll come barreling in and rolling himself from side to side like this, so on the way down, all designed to attract the female. I assume it's testaments to his aerial artistry, and based on that a female will become enamoured with him, I suppose. Beyond that, I'm not sure in terms of it's an Inyala. In terms of specific other rituals, I'm sure there are some. I imagine normally the male will courtship feed the females. That's quite normal as well, where he will bring her little gifts, take her out for dinner basically. But here we have a male Inyala. You can see that lovely dark charcoaly coat and those orange socks. Typically found here along the drainage lines. They like thicker vegetation, and our camp apparently. We do have one that, let me see if I can move forward a touch for us here in Paul. We have one who's in camp every evening and is so completely relaxed with us. He sort of wanders through the camp and we walk past him. I always give him a decent amount of space, just regardless of how relaxed he may be with people. Those horns are still pretty big and pretty sharp, so I'd rather give him the benefit of the doubt. Ah, he's going to hide behind another tree. This is your moment to shine, Mr. Inyala. We can hear that black cuckoo shrike again. Yeah, but we've got a couple of them that hang out at camp. But you can see how well that camouflage works. There's little white stripes, very hard to make out on his side, but they do have a brilliant ability when he's not moving like that. If you just quickly glanced at your screen and looked away, if I hadn't have told you there was an Inyala there, you probably wouldn't have seen it. That darker colour just helps him blend into the shadows. Those little white stripes just look like blades of grass, little twigs and branches growing up towards the sky. And so a quick glance, you wouldn't know he was there at all. There you get a nice look at those horns. Nice to see, even if not the clearest view in the world. Alright, we're going to send you back over to Cedric. I'm slowly making my way south. I've got to go and check twin dams, and then hopefully in half an hour, 45 minutes or so, I shall take a little foray onto Chitwa and see what we can find down there.
Oh, Ben. Alright, so that balsam pear does look right, you know, that little fruit now. But then, thanks Judy H, she also sent through information about what I was also saying a little bit earlier, wild cucumber. And you're thinking wild cucumber. Then I also looked at that balsam pear, and I looked at the areas that you do get that balsam pear, and it's nowhere close to this area, so in South Africa. So maybe it is a cucumber, I think a wild cucumber. I'm leaning more to that side, unless it's Unless the balsam pear and the wild cucumber is practically the same thing. But well, we'll look into it. Definitely want to find out more about that thing, because as I said, that's new in this area. But I have seen that before. That's what I was saying, along the Sand River in the western Sabi Sands. I have seen it before. So also not knowing it at that time, that's what I thought about a wild cucumber. I heard somebody saying it, and I thought, okay, just maybe.
This is Roscoe Mobile. Any updates, please?
All right. Let's see. No one's answering here. Let me answer this guy. Afternoon, Russell. Nothing so far. Yeah, nothing so far. All right, great chat. Huh?
I'm just probably going to cover maybe sand on that side. Just going to cut down from the left side and see what we can see on that side. Yeah, keep in contact.
Copy that, Russell. Yeah, I'm going to head towards Buffelshoek Dam area and do that corner scratch around that side. Just letting him know exactly what we're going to do for the afternoon. All our plans, hoping that somebody picks up on some rosettes or some tawny cats or some wild dogs somewhere, which would be fantastic for the afternoon. And yeah, that will be great for a Sunday. And talking about rosettes and all that, yeah, we haven't seen a more whitey, that male leopard, for a while. I think somebody was also asking about him the other day. He has really avoided practically everybody from this side to that side, you know, of Djuma. That male leopard, he knows how to avoid us. Yeah? No? Right, I just want to see if Nadine's still there. Unless we're all good. Mrs. Jason, updates on Mohawk? No, last I heard he went in Kruger Park to his son's, that side, rhino walking safaris in that area far into the Kruger. And that's the last I heard. Yeah, it's all the big boys in this area, the coalitions that's come into this area. I don't even think Mohawk is even going to try and think of coming back. It will be suicide for him, you know. He doesn't want to come into this area again. So I think he'll rather spend his last couple of years with his sons inside Kruger. And yeah. But it will be nice to see if he does come. It will be nice to see him again, just one more time. We always say that, just one more time. Just one more time. It's like Marips as well. Oh, I'd love to see him just one more time. Marips is a young male leopard, if you don't know him. A very liked young male leopard. Peace to you. No updates on that nervous. There you go. Yeah, there it goes. Bye. Sorry, it was the light-breasted roller. No, peace to you. No updates on that nervous 3-2 male leopard. No updates. It was, yeah. It was one of those ones. He's here and he's not here now. Plus, he's nomadic, so he'll. Maybe he went into Buffelshoek this side, to the left-hand side. Yeah, he might have gone all the way in here. He might have cut straight south, maybe. Difficult to say. We haven't had any tracks going that way, so I've got a feeling he's gone into Buffelshoek. I'm just taking it very slow down here because I want to make sure that I'm not going to miss any form of life this side as well as tracks. So I'm just going to amble along here very slowly. Always like just doing the boundaries sometimes. So if you're doing the boundaries, if something's coming in or going out, then at least you can pick up on that and follow up, or you don't have to follow up if it goes out.
Wildearth and BirdLife South Africa are inviting you to join us on a 6-day birding tour to Valgevonden Private Game Reserve.
We have just had our efforts paid off.
Hosted by the world-famous birder John Kinghorn, who is a leader in the global conservation charity BirdLife South Africa.
And what a morning we have had.
This cannot be missed. Book your spot now and help protect BirdLife.
Become a Wildearth YouTube member and unlock exclusive bonuses and benefits. Enjoy uninterrupted, ad-free streams so you can stay immersed in nature. Have your burning questions answered first by me or other expert naturalists. Enjoy exclusive access to special broadcasts and videos, and help us to connect people to nature.
Join the Wildearth Explorers program and connect with a community passionate about wildlife. Support our mission to share authentic wildlife experiences with the world. Your monthly contribution helps provide schools and children access to kids' safaris, fostering a love for nature in the next generation. Embrace the wonders of the bush and make a difference today. Wildearth, connecting with nature.
Kenya's people, the landscapes and spectacular wildlife make it the ultimate safari destination. Come with me to the Masai Mara and Amboseli in May 2025. We'll explore the vast savannas looking for predators and then marvel at Kilimanjaro as the last big tuskers graze below. This safari is the perfect nature connection to calm the soul and escape from the world's folly.
All right, well, we're slowly getting towards, heading towards Buffelshoek Dam this side, yeah, in the northeastern corner of Djuma. Just going to go and do a little bit of a scratch around there. I think while we do that, let's head over to Ben as he's doing some birding for the afternoon.
Got a hardy-dar ibis for you who was happily wandering around and hid behind the tree. There we go, the hardy-dar. Has a terrible reputation, the hardy-dar. It has one of the most annoying calls in the bush. Those of you who live in Gauteng, around Joburg and Pretoria, will know the hardy-dar well. Generally waking you up at about 4 o'clock in the morning this time of year, with its shrill call. I'm just going to reverse the touch for us so we can get the other side of that tree. Okay, but despite their unsavoury reputation for what they sound like, it's actually quite a pretty bird if you have a look at it close up. We might struggle with the light today because it's a little bit backlit. Oh, there's a pair of them. But they have got some lovely sort of a metallic sheen on their feathers, on their backs. And they've got these little red sort of sashes on the top of their beaks. And that, you can see them gular flapping there. You see their throat wobbling around, so just trying to get some airflow in there to sort of basically sweat through the mucous membranes in the mouth, because it is very warm this afternoon. But they'll be using that long beak to probe into the ground for little insects which they might find in there. So they do like earthworms. Not that we have a huge number of earthworms in this area, but we do of course get worms in South Africa, but all sorts of things living in the ground, even some little mollusks and things closer to water, you never know. Oh, that's loud. Intent on hiding behind the one little tree in this area, regardless of where I go. Maybe they're nervous of me because we always badmouth hardy-dars. If you're just joining us and you wonder where this strange name comes from, it's a rather onomatopoeic name based on their call, which I will attempt to recreate. They go, ah, 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 hence hardy-dar. Very, very loud, very obnoxious, and they sometimes just seem to do that for endless amounts of time when you're trying to enjoy a peaceful morning. We don't actually see that many of them here. Quite nice to see a pair. Yeah, it is nice to see them, Nadine, you're right. We hear them and we dismiss their call, but like I said, if you actually, if we were to gag one of them or tie their beaks together so we could look at them without too much audible disturbance, they're actually quite pretty birds, but they've just got a terrible reputation because they're so noisy, and apparently they don't like to be put on camera. But no, we don't see them all that often here. If we do, we just get ones or twos. Well, Anushka, I don't know about the best alarm clocks, the most effective perhaps, but not everybody's favourite. But there again, I always find I have an annoying alarm call, because if I have a nice alarm call, I'm more likely to just snooze off whilst listening to it again. So I think it's always a good idea to have an annoying sounding alarm call. Right, let's see if we can move forward a touch and just see what the other one is. One's hiding in that guarri bush. I'm not sure what happened to the other one. There we go. Okay, just while we try and find them again. Yeah, so the hardy-dars, they do have this lovely sort of purpley green sheen on their feathers, which is all that iridescence, all to do with the keratin and the way the sort of sheets of keratin are layered within the structure of the feathers, and then the wavelengths of light come in and then get bounced around by those like sheet-like structures, and that causes the wavelengths of light to move in different directions depending on which angle you look at it. So as you move your head around, you see that shimmering effect. So we see that in various ones of the starling species. A lot of the sunbirds, the males, have that beautiful iridescence. The violet-backed starling, my own personal favourite bird out here at the moment because of that coloration. But iridescence is definitely a good thing. We'll see if we can find a nice starling for you in the light today, after a couple of cloudy ones. Okay, they seem to be disappearing slowly into the bushes. That might be all we get from our hardy-dars, but as you said, nice to see them for a change. And we haven't heard them once. In fact, the only hardy-dar noise was me. Possibly why they're leaving. Probing away with those beaks. I hope they're finding enough food though. I was saying, I think since I've been back here at Djuma, which has been a week now, I honestly think I've seen one dung beetle. But hopefully those rains coming next week will stimulate the bush to start all the insects and the arthropods to come out and about, and we can find all sorts of interesting little things scurrying around the place. It's obviously a good spot down there, having a good probe in there. But we're going to send you all the way up to the northeastern corner of Djuma to Cedric, who is arriving at Buffelshoek Dam.
Check. Well, we had Buffelshoek Dam. What is it? Saddleball stork eat. Oh, sorry, it just ate something there now. Saddleball stork kind of grabbed something that was on the ground down. I don't know what it was. Like something black, maybe like a frog that was like hopping outside of the water there. It looked like it was a frog. Beautiful. We've been lucky with these saddlebill storks over the last few weeks now. This is a female, nice yellow eyes compared to the male. It's got the black eyes and the yellow wattle under the beak. But this is a female by herself. And you see what she's going to be doing now. She's poking that long beak of hers into the water, looking and feeling around for any movement, any fish that might be around there. Some catfish that's at the bottom, as our bottom feeders, maybe some tilapia fish that's swimming by. So yeah, I've been very fortunate here at this dam. I think this dam is losing water now very quickly, but I'm sure we're going to get some good rain next week, so I'm hoping that this dam does start filling up again. I think that these saddlebill storks are taking the advantage of the dry dams now, so they don't have to work too hard in catching fish. It's the same as your herons that's been moving around here as well. Some days there's like 5 or 6 grey herons that's sitting at this dam and grabbing a whole lot of fish from here. But at the moment it looks like it's just the one saddlebill stork that is contemplating life. Alright, well, we are going to sit here a little bit longer at the dam. Apparently there's just a line tracks coming in, so I'm also going to go and try and follow up on that. While we sit here and watch this saddlebill stork resting on the ground, let's head over to Amakhala as something is resting up in a tree.
Well, hello everybody. I've found myself pretending to be a leopard here, or some form of feline or vervet monkey in the tree here. I've climbed up a milkwood to basically get to this level where I am, to find that there's a whole host of other living, organisms, no, other living objects up here. So it's not animals like mammals or birds, or it's actually a form of plant life. There's a very thorny bush that I had to climb through to get to up here, and I've scratched all my leg, all over my leg, which is fine. I don't actually know what thorn tree this is. It's like almost like it's got this little knob. I want to say knob thorn, but I don't think it's a knob thorn. And then there's also this other little one which is called mistletoe. Now a lot of you will know this. This is a horror. You might not be able to see it. It's very small leaves. I'll take a sample. It's a very horrible plant. It grows in lots of trees, and it's like a tick. Think about like a tick, the way that a tick latches onto our skin and starts, sucking our blood. It's exactly the same thing here, where this plant will find its spores on a tree, and then its roots will start to dig into the actual cambium layer of the poor tree, and basically sometimes it can actually kill them. Steve D, I'm being as careful as I potentially can. Before I climb this tree, Morgan said don't climb the tree. He said he doesn't want to have to feel sorry for me or administer first aid, which is fine. I will self-medicate myself. Hey? Don't pretend. It's not going to be done properly if it's pretend. I'll take the sample. That was very quick. Give the tree or Morgan a kiss, but I have to be underneath the mistletoe. I don't know how I'm going to do this without getting a thorn. Ow! With the lip. This tree, I have to kiss. Anyway, there's a good kiss. Did you get it? Was this branch in the way? I'm not doing it again. It's got all my cooties on it. We're going to send you back up to Cedric while I attempt to try and get down from this milkwood.
kudu calf. Look at that. Oh my word. That is so small. Mom just cleaning it.
That is tiny.
That is so tiny. But this is small. This is, let me see. This is walking, even the little legs are still kind of a little bit swaying a bit. Maybe a few days, a couple of days old. No, this is small. Getting a good old wash here from Mom. Here's, this little one has to grow into its ears. Oh, so big. At this age, he's very vulnerable. But then again, Mom's also got big ears, big eyes, so she can pick up on anything, any predators that's coming around. Or hopefully she can. Usually you'll find that there will be other females in the vicinity as well. So just, oh, she's hearing something. That's odd. So usually kudus don't walk around, move around by themselves. They'll be in the family herd, just like this waterbuck that we saw this morning. Oh, look at that, looking up at Mom.
Join me, Andrew Wistenholm, for an indescribable 6-night stay in the beautiful Albany of the Eastern Cape at Amakhala Game Reserve. Now, this trip is going to be action-packed with a lot of storytelling, adventure, as well as the opportunity to make everlasting memories. We'll be exploring the best of Amakhala by staying at 2 luxury lodges, which will be the perfect blend of comfort as well as wilderness. Book your spot today, and let's get ready to explore the wild beauty of Amakhala.
We are thrilled to announce our new exclusive feature for YouTube members and explorers. Join us live every Tuesday for our sunrise and sunset safaris. Experience Tawny Tuesday like never before with up-close encounters and breathtaking moments. Don't miss out. Become a YouTube member or explorer today and immerse yourself in the heart of the bush. See you Tuesday. With us on a beautiful wildlife journey with Safari Spotlight. 4 unique South African locations, countless unforgettable moments, jam-packed with exhilarating and inspiring wildlife sightings, bringing you intimate and exciting virtual safaris.
And it jumped up like this and shimmied all the way up.
Enjoy jaw-dropping moments as we tell authentic conservation stories. Safari Spotlight is your ticket into the heart of the African wild. Are you ready for the adventure of a lifetime? Wild Earth Travel's newsletter is your passport to a magical journey. Explore exclusive travel options featuring special offers at stunning Wild Earth locations and all hosted by your favorite presenters. Don't miss out. Head over to our website and subscribe to the Wild Earth Travel newsletter today and stay in the know on all our unforgettable adventures. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
Whether all the latex was the same colour. If that was the question, generally speaking it's white, but you can get sort of a clear latex as well, a clear resiny latex, but the white one is to be careful of unless you know for a fact that tree is edible. Things like figs and num-nums have latex and are fine to eat, but if in doubt, white milky latex, leave it alone. Alright, we're going to send you to Cedric, who is doing some birding. Oh, it sounds perhaps Cedric's bird flew away, so you're going to stay with me. Well then let me get back into the driver's seat and we will see what else we can find. Birds and wild earth do not go hand in hand, it seems. We have too many camera shy birds. Okay, but that's one of the ways that trees defend themselves. There are so many others. This morning I was showing you this leaf, actually, it's still with me, and how where the lateral veins come off the main vein, there are these little holes in some species of trees, or little tufts of hair, that actually act like little homes for particular types of predatory mites that eat little insects, and more importantly photophagous mites, which are plant-eating mites which might be damaging the tree. So it's quite cool to think that the tree actually produces or manufactures or has evolved to have these little homes where good beneficial mites can live, and they can breed, and they can lay their eggs in there, and their larvae can develop in there safe and sound, and their role is to try and protect the tree. And there are other ways that trees do that as well. So the trees formerly known as acacias, many of those have what are called extrafloral nectaries, which are little glands on the leaf which produce a nectar like a flower would, but there's nothing to do with flowers around those glands. There's nothing to do with pollination. It is purely the tree producing, oh, just mind this branch here, everyone at the back, merely the tree producing this fluid, and it does so to feed its army of ants. So you often get a lot of ants that live on these trees, which then protect the tree again from parasites, potentially swarm over the face of a browsing animal, mind the branches again here, and the tree actually feeds its armed response force by producing these this nice sweet fluid for them, which ants do love. We see them tending aphids as well that produce a sort of a honeydew. There are all sorts of stuff happening with trees that we don't normally talk about because it's happening almost on a microscopic level, but there are lots of relationships between trees and insects. It's a fascinating bit of science, and it has a great name of dendroentomology. Okay, we are going to head down to the Eastern Cape and see what antics Eric is up to.
Now, Mother Nature never really likes empty spaces, and she always has a plan for everything here. I found myself in a very, very old, I wouldn't say it's very, very old, I would just say it's not used at the moment, a burrow from who knows what. Now we're going to run through a list of potential tenants that could be that could have been in this burrow. Number one, an aardwolf. Aardwolves do go in burrows. Warthogs, porcupines, and spring hares. Now this is too big of an entrance for potential spring hare. A spring hare is a small animal. It's like a miniature kangaroo, if you will. Very long back legs, short front legs, good for digging. Those front legs are very important for digging up roots and all sorts. Now we move on to an aardwolf. An aardwolf is also a fairly small-ish mammal. It's part of the hyena family, but I wouldn't think a mound like this, that's kind of around the outside here, is the work of an aardwolf. So that leaves us pretty much with 2 or 3 options. I actually didn't say warthog as well. Warthogs also, but warthogs generally tend to take over pre-existing holes. So this could potentially be a porcupine, could be an aardwolf, or it could be a warthog. Oh, Sarah, the wind is just unacceptable at the moment. It's so bad, and we're pretty much doing anything and everything to try and stay out of the wind and make it entertaining for you at the same time. I felt I've always wanted to kind of sit in these little burrows. It's very relaxing. The sand is nice and warm. It's quite cool out. It's very soft sand actually, so it's very comfortable, I must say. I wouldn't say that I would stay here permanently, but if I got stuck out here in the wild and I needed a place to stay, I would be in here. This is where I would come. There's something on my leg. It's just flies. Yeah, but lovely little water, well, not a little warthog potential hole. I think it's either warthog or porcupine. I think an aardwolf would make a little bit of a bigger hole. Or it could be a small aardwolf, we never know. I mean aardvark. I don't know, I'm not allowed on the vehicle anymore. I'm told I'm too stink. No, I'm joking. Morgan has not thrown me off the vehicle. He says he's taking applications for new naturalists. So if you feel like you've got what it takes, send him a message. But no, we're being extra creative this afternoon. There was a time where we almost did this maybe about 4 months ago, and then the buffalo rudely disturbed us. It was a proper hole. Like I could get into that hole and sit in that hole, and we were just disturbed. There's a snake behind. Where did you see it? How long ago did you say? And how big was it? What color? I'm not moving. I won't move. I'll stay right here. Morgan's going, it's this big, and the size just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Not like a definitive size. But so this is most likely, it's not used. Most likely someone had used it, and they've moved on. Didn't see any tracks coming into it, nor did I see any real signs of it, like having been used recently. You can see normally there's scratch marks on the side from either tusks or fur or quills, some form of scratch marks, but then there will also be, like I said, tracks. There'll be lots of tracks. Now, well, we're going to send you over to Juma to see if Cedric's going to climb any burrows. Well, climb into any burrows, climb any trees, or mud wallow.
Well, Eric, I'm hoping that you got out of that tree all right. Shame, man. Yes, yeah. But well done on that. Back in the days when I was young, I used to climb a lot of trees. Oh yes, in our garden at our house we had this huge tree. I don't know what tree it was. I mean, back in those days when I was young, I never really kind of took notice of the species of trees, but it was just a big tree. And my older brother and myself used to climb that tree plenty of time, but it was right next to the neighbor's wall, and the neighbors always used to shout at us because if we climbed the tree we could see into their garden, and we could see the entire house, and it was the old lady that stayed there, and she wasn't too happy when we climbed the trees. But luckily, when you're young, you're always naughty, and we just kept on climbing and kept on irritating our poor neighbor. But yeah, I used to love it. I used to climb high with my brother, very high. But now, I don't know, over time, since you start getting older, you start becoming wiser. No. That's not explaining, Nadine. Once you get older and you become wiser, you know what your body can handle. And now I'll climb just to a certain height. Oh yeah, but James still climbs trees, eh? Oh. Yeah, James still climbs through. As I was saying, when you get older and wiser, no, I'm just joking. I'm sure I'm going to get an email from James this evening. But yeah, you know, no, it's just like, you know, I think at the end of the day, I avoid climbing too much trees now. I know myself, you know, I know my limits now, so. And I'll stick to things that I'm feeling a little bit, how can I say, at ease with. And I think climbing trees at this age, yeah. I think it's just the height thing. The height is, I'm just a little bit afraid of heights in a way. Lion Lover, you're saying, is this show live? Oh yes indeed, Lion Lover. I am answering your question as we chat away. There it is, we are live. This is live, this is interactive, Lion Lover. This is what makes Wild Earth so unique and amazing, that we can sit and chat to you while we're watching things live. Well, I'm going to ask Panda to dive into this mud wallow. He's going to do it live. I'm just going to watch live. No, I don't think. James. Yeah. I'm gonna get scolded for this one. But anyway, so this is a nice wallow, or not a nice wallow, actually a pan. It's not a wallow. I'm going to call this more of a pan. Always here on Battalier Road. It's always nice to just take a look around here. I'm just going to quickly walk around this pan. It's always important. I'm not going to dive into this pan today. Trust me. I think I'm going to avoid that today. But it's always interesting, you know, when you've got these kind of pans around the side, when you're next to a drainage line, that's the Molawati is right next to us here, and you've got these pans with water. It's always, on a hot day like this, it's always nice just to kind of just take a look next to the pan, just to see if you get any fresh kind of prints, maybe tracks of something that's come down here during the daytime, came for a drink, leaving its paw prints in here. You can't see this now, but there's warthog hooves there, prints there, so you can clearly see a warthog came this side. All right, well, we're going to continue investigating this area. Let's head over to Ben as he is taking a look at a beautiful tree.
Right, we have a conundrum, and Paul and I are having an argument, so we need your help. This is a marula tree, which has recently been debarked by an elephant. You can see he's been ripping off the cambium layer. That's what they're after. This, I'm just going to be careful because I saw a velvet ant. Oh, sorry, hopefully my audio is a little bit better now. But this is what the elephant's after. This is where the phloem is, the sugary part of the tree. But we've also discovered that elephants can do maths, and this is what we're debating, because there is a clear number 2 here and a number 3 over here, which hopefully you can see, and then right, we will try that again. My apologies, we had a little audio issue there. So I don't know how much of that you caught, but we have a marula, and Paul and I are arguing over the fact that there is a very clear number 2 here, been scratched into the sapwood of the tree, and a number 3 over here, and then either an E for an elephant signature or possibly an equal sign, so possibly they're doing some maths. Now, I'm fairly confident that this is the mark of the tusk of the elephant, where he was trying to get underneath the bark in order to strip the bark and get to this lovely, soft, nutritious cambium layer that's got nice and sugary water in it that was created during photosynthesis. And this will be the mark from the tusks that have scraped in under. And Paul seems to think this was human-made. We're arguing over it, so I'd love to hear your opinion. It's not the first time I've seen elephant graffiti over here, and we were trying to think, what was the elephant saying? So there's a Psalm 23, which is a very famous psalm in the Bible. In Hindu, the Quran was given forth over 23 years, and then Sia has proposed, which I rather like, that the elephants are basketball fans, and Michael Jordan's shirt number was 23, which has obviously since been retired. There was a Jim Carrey film called The Number 23, which has a lot of spiritual significance and unusualness. It's a prime number. Who knows what's going on in the brain of an elephant? But I'm fairly sure that this is elephant damage from tusks, but I'd be interested to see your thoughts. Nadine suggesting maybe that the elephants did this last year, and it's a bit like people unfortunately scratch things into bark saying Ben was here and then 2023. Who knows, but interesting to see that the elephants are either doing some artwork or possibly some mathematics. They've got big brains, so maybe they're capable of a lot more than we realised. But what they're ultimately doing, say, is after this cambium layer. Now, if we were to find a freshly stripped tree of this, if we did see the elephants actually doing it, I could take some of this and actually chew on it, and I would taste liquid, and it would be like a sugary water. You'll be able to taste the sweetness in it, and this is what the elephants are after. This tree should be fine. It's not ring-barked right the way around, which would then kill the tree, because it will be unable to take that energy created after photosynthesis, send it right the way back down to the roots. The roots would ultimately then die because they're not getting fed, and then the tree would succumb. That being said, marula is quite a soft wood, and it is still able to pass around some of that goodness, even if it is completely ring-barked. They can kind of heal themselves. These baobabs, a couple of trees that are capable of surviving ring-barking. But 23, significant or not, who knows?
There's a big male leopard coming this way.
What an absolute beauty.
Yeah, guys, we've got Lalamba and Cub. We've got Lalamba and Shapondo. Look at this. This is amazing.
Every guide in Africa has been on an endless quest for the ultimate bush wear. Until now. Rugged Wear has a huge range of amazing bush gear for every wild situation. In the midday heat, those chilly winter mornings, in the storms of summer. Rugged Wear has the bush kit for every wild occasion. Locally made in South Africa, crafted with precision, stitched with quality.
We have some exciting news for our Wild Earth travelers. Book a trip to any of our locations through Wild Earth Travel and you'll get an exclusive dinner with one of our expert guides. Imagine dining under the stars and sharing stories with your favorite Wild Earth presenter. It's the perfect bonus to your dream safari. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
legs if that was the case. They've got quite thin sort of stovepipe legs, lesser spotted eagles. It's got a pale coloured eye. I had a quick check in the book what that one could be. I can't remember what colour. I've got a funny feeling a lesser spotted eagle might have a pale eye. No, Nadine, it's not a brown snake eagle, unfortunately. That would have no feathers on its legs, and the brown snake eagle has an abnormally large, sort of blocky shaped head. It's quite easy to identify from that, and a bright yellow eye, but this one's got a pale eye. It may not be a bit difficult to see on the camera. Let me have a look, page 243. Okay, lesser spotted eagle does have a sort of a palish coloured eye. So I'm going with that at the moment, but I need to see his legs to be sure, because they've got very thin feathered legs. That'd be nice, don't see too many lesser spotteds. Just really occur in the northeastern side of South Africa, a couple of pockets down the east coast. But it's between a lesser spotted and a Wahlberg, but a Wahlberg should have a crest, and I'm not seeing any evidence of a crest on the back of the head. Possibly when the wind blows, but now is that just the wind? But I don't see an obvious crest. That being said, I have seen Wahlberg's eagles with no crest. But the lighter coloured eye is confusing me, because that's not something that I would expect to see on a Wahlberg's. Just check another identification method. It does have pale eyes. I've checked another one, so I'm going with lesser spotted. Linda Campbell, we don't get red-tailed hawks over here, so no. We do have some hawk. We have kites, and we have goshawks, and we have harrier hawks, and we have harriers, falcons. We have a red-footed falcon and those sorts of things, but it's definitely not one of those, unfortunately, no. Let's show you a picture of the lesser spotted eagle, and you can also see if you agree with my identification. I pop that up there for you, see it? So this one here in the bottom corner. Okay, so there's the lesser spotted eagle. See those very thin legs, which is characteristic. No crest and a pale coloured eye. Okay, more of a mystery. It sounds like Cedric's also got a bird. Let's quickly pop over there and hope it hasn't flown away.
This is nice. Got a. What's happening this afternoon? It's like every time we get a bird on screen, it's been flying off. There was a bearded woodpecker. We had a very what was about a second, not even. It was a bearded woodpecker that was pecking away at that dead tree, and a little bit earlier on we had a beautiful golden oriole as well, stunning in the sunlight on a dead tree, just sitting there. And as soon as we were about to go live, and it just vanished. All right, so we're next to the Mulwati drainage line here, and I'm still trying to look for Tlalamba, see if I can pick up on any tracks of hers this side. But it's always nice just to, as I said, I was going to try and climb a tree here now. As he says, hi, so I'm going to go. So I'm just going to look out this side just to see if we can pick up on maybe Tlalamba and Shaponda's tracks around here in this area along the drainage line. Yeah, there's actually a nice little thing I want to show you. Yeah, let's go a little bit forward here, because there is an aardvark hole here. I saw aardvark tracks going directly into this hole about a day or two ago. Let's just quickly go here. Just want to show you here. Let's see if we can get it on screen. Well, not the aardvark, but just the hole. Well, it would be amazing if the aardvark was there. Maneuvering, yeah. Let's see what we can do. Like that, eh, Panda? So I got some nice aardvark tracks here the other day, a few days ago. I just want to see if I can get any of those tracks here. But you can see, unfortunately, the rain from the other night must have pretty much, I'm going to say, washed the tracks away. Yeah, a few, you can't see there really, Panda. It's very difficult. Yeah, you can see just the long toes of the aardvark here. But yeah, using this, but absolutely amazing how deep this goes. This goes far inside here. Very, very deep. I would love to get like that little rover with the camera, and you put it here and you go inside here just to double check. But clearly you can see nothing has come in here recently over the last day after the rain. I don't see any real fresh tracks coming in this side. So, and plus there's also some spider webs. There's some spider webs on top here as well. So clearly, because of the spider webs here now, so if there is spider webs, it just shows you that there's nothing been going in or coming out here. So there's a clear sign of this hole, that this hole is not occupied by anything for the last day or two. Anyway, well, we're going to continue moving along this drainage line. Let's head over to Eriki.
So we found ourselves a big male rhino, and this is that big boy that we saw a couple of days ago, who was pushing another rhino off, and he pushed him to the boundary of his territory. So the boundary of this big boy's territory, and as soon as he had crossed over and that big boy, that other boy was on his territory, this guy decided he was going to retract, not fight anymore, and he actually moved off. And then both of them, we watched as that intruder slowly moved away. But that fight went on for long, because we came up that road, saw them fighting on the road, then we turned around, went and had that sighting, that we found that little caracal, had the sighting with her, followed her around for as much as we could, and then we looped back around, and we found them just fighting further up the road. So this big guy was pushing him. Now this is the big boy, the man of the house, the man of Amakala. He it's pretty scary, actually, and I mean, you look at the size of his body, it's not a small body at all.
Join Wild Earth Travel on a unique nature adventure in the Greater Kruger Park. Legendary master tracker Renius Mhlongo leads a 4-day animal tracking experience, followed by 3 nights in the Sabi Sand Nature Reserve. This experience offers a life-changing chance to track Africa's iconic animals on foot with a master of his craft. Renius is joined by Wild Earth presenter and expert storyteller Amy Krantz, and together they will connect you to Africa's wild heart. Welcome to a new era of seamless travel. Enjoy a hassle-free ticket purchase system with an effortless check-in, offering unbeatable value and a variety of options. Redefine business travel with Africa's award-winning value-based airline. FastJet, value, choice, flexibility.
We understand that not everybody has got spare pennies to rub together at the end of the month. We're introducing an initiative called Gift an Explorer.
So that those with lots of pennies can gift a Wild Earth Explorer access to those with fewer.
We're aiming for 250 gifts, but the more the merrier.
You can nominate a recipient or keep it anonymous.
It's a great way to share the Wild Earth mission with other nature lovers around the world.
It's finally here, the next Wild Earth Grand Tour. Get ready for 7 unforgettable nights of prime wildlife viewing in the Sabi Sands during peak predator season. Immerse yourself with past and present Wild Earth presenters. Participate in a rhino conservation experience and get a behind-the-scenes look at wildlife filmmaking. Hosted by James Hendry. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
Of really good people that are devoting their lives to protecting these massive creatures that really don't deserve what they get. Anyway, we're going to send you back up to Djuma. See what's happening up there.
Yes, we are at Chitwa Dam, where there is a lot more water than I thought there would be. This is the first time I have had a look at Chitwa. We've got plenty of hippos here. That one to the right of screen now was just doing a little bit of yawning and displaying momentarily, so we're hoping to find another one, but a veritable ocean still at Chitwa Dam, and plenty of activity. We've seen hippos, seen a couple of crocs, there's Egyptian geese, there's herons, there's sandpipers, plovers, all sorts of bird activity. And plenty of hippos submerging and what's the other? Submerging and rising? Merging? Can you merge and dismerge? What's the opposite of submerging? Arising. Anyway, there's lots of hippos. But yeah, that one was being particularly playful earlier. Oh, see, I don't know if you can see it, there's one at the back getting out of the water. He's quite far away, but it's nice to just see the scale. There we go. Look, we often just show you the heads and the top of the spines of hippos, but that gives you a better idea of the sheer bulk of one of these things, which is normally hidden below the water, obviously. A little bit early for them to be getting out of the water, but of course they will come out at night time to feed, and they do sunbathe sometimes during the heat of the day. Janine, I'm happy that you enjoy your time at Chitwa Dam. It's always guaranteed to see something, even if it's not leopards or elephants swimming. We know we've always got hippos here, and there's plenty of bird life. And you never know what might come a-calling to such a large waterhole like this. I've seen about 3 or 4 striated herons, the old greenback herons, fly across. There's a fish eagle hiding in a tree that's a bit hard for us to see at the moment. And yeah, probably in the teens of hippos that are visible. Ever-present Egyptian geese waddling around at the back. It's a shame, the one we were watching earlier gave us a couple of nice yawns, and again, like most things, seems to be a little bit camera shy this morning. But we've got one in the foreground, which we'll show you in a moment, who's also sort of exposing some of the back. And I did notice that she had a little one. The little one's under the water at the moment, but there was a young one there as well. Yes, Charlene, it does a good job of holding its water, Chitwa Dam. I mean, I've been coming in and out of Djuma for about 3 or 4 years, and I've never seen Chitwa particularly low. But it is a big body of water, certainly. There's a lot of volume in here. Where's your little one? I saw a youngster. Very difficult to gauge its age, but there was a young one. And that mum's now, she's lying down, completely submerging herself again. And then there were no hippos. It's quite scary, actually, isn't it? You think, oh, there's nothing there, I'll go for a quick swim, and then next thing you know, you look around and there's about 18 hippos staring at you. Right, sounds like Cedric has been picking up hitchhikers. Let's go and see who has joined him on his vehicle.
Well, look what dropped in here on the seat. A little chameleon, like a baby chameleon. Oh, this thing is so small, shame, but we just saw it now while I'm driving. I just looked to the left of me and here's this little chameleon giving me the eyeball. Hey, oh, and I mean, this is small. So most probably while we were going through the bush, it might have just bounced off one of the trees there and landed on the but oh, moedertjie, this thing's small. Look at this. Look at my finger. Look at that. Oh no, shame. I don't like it when they're turning a little bit blackish like it with those black speckles, meaning they're a little bit stressed out in it. But this is the smallest chameleon I have seen by far. I mean, this thing is minute. And it's actually jiving to the Michael Jackson song. There's nothing. No, what is it? Maybe I can't see. I see that little thing that's attached to the bottom. It looks like maybe a piece of skin or something. You see it, huh? Yeah. I'm not too sure. Or maybe a piece of leaf. It looks black. And I don't have a very cool cord, so shame. And it's turning a little bit black, so what I might just do, I'm not going to go any further. You know, I don't like touching, especially the small ones like that. I don't want to touch it with my hand. But the flapneck chameleon, oh, the one. Yeah, he's playing with the cable now. The cable guy. Yes. Wonder if he's going to turn completely black then. On the cable there. But look at those eyes. Even those streaks on the eyes are absolutely stunning, hey? Those black little stripes. Oh, he is just amazing. Or he or she, I'm not too sure. Alright, I'm just going to go around before we lose it. Gina, want this one to come onto the branch. Come. Climb. There we go. There we go. Yay. No, don't climb on my finger now. No, no. There we go. So sorry everyone, I'm going to put this little one back in here because, you know, it looks a little bit stressed and it's so small. So camouflage is so important for it. I don't want to leave it in the open. So you go, my little one. Be free. Become a big chameleon. Don't eat all the mosquitoes and flies for us. All right. Thank you. Oh, that is so sweet. Hey? That's a nice one. Yeah. Most probably went through a bush or something and it just kind of bounced off the bush into the vehicle and kept me company for a bit. Oh, you can still see the foot there. It's disappearing now. Camouflage is amazing. Anushka, yes, very, very cute. I can't believe how small that little one is. That's like one of the smallest chameleons I've seen here in my life. It's so small, but you can see how happy he or she is now. You can see climbing up there, feeling much more confident being in the bush like that now with nice natural colors around there, the greens and the browns. Oh, there's a lot of ants. That'll be fine. Maybe we can eat some ants. You can see even it's the black is gone now, so that's the black almost shows that they're a little bit stressed when they got the black, and now it's already gone. Real Shamari, I'm glad it made your days. Likewise, I'm so happy that we could at least help out this little one and let it go. And you can see now the black is gone. It's now just kind of blending in with those leaves and with the little branch. And you must just try and stay safe because they've got so many different predators. I mean, your bush shrikes, even your magpie shrikes, you know, all your what else? There's a lot of the little goshawks in it as well. So there's plenty of birds that will feed on that. There's snakes as well. You know, your snakes will go for them. Hornbills, rollers. Oh, Julia, yes, Troshala would be very happy with the sighting. Oh, she would love this little one. Right, look in the vehicle. Maybe we've got another one crawling around here, but I doubt it. It'll be climbing up on something, yeah.
Seven nights on safari during the magnificent green season. The rains have stopped, the land is emerald, and there are wild babies everywhere. Meet your favorite presenters.
This is amazing.
And create unforgettable memories on this once-in-a-lifetime adventure.
Thank you for coming along on this little adventure.
The Green Season Grand Tour, only with Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
Become a Wild Earth YouTube member today and unlock extras and bonuses, like ad-free streams so you can stay immersed in your safari without any interruption. Have your burning questions answered first by me or other expert naturalists. Join now to avoid missing out on these amazing benefits. Help us connect people to nature.
Join the Wild Earth Explorers program and connect with a community passionate about wildlife. Support our mission to share authentic wildlife experiences with the world. Your monthly contribution helps provide schools and children access to kids' safaris, fostering a love for nature in the next generation. Embrace the wonders of the bush and make a difference today. Wild Earth, connecting with nature. Wild Earth Travel would like to take you to Namibia and Botswana. Drift over the desert in a hot air balloon, then glide through the lush Okavango Delta in a dugout canoe. This extraordinary journey blends dramatic landscapes with outdoor adventures and unparalleled wildlife encounters. Discover Africa like never before. Book now with Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
Bright sun with a very, very dark background always is quite cool to look at. Okay, here comes the more of a very solid cloud on the left hand side there of the screen, and you can see on the right hand side is more of the lighter, fluffier ones, probably with less moisture in them. We're hoping this wind continues to blow it, and it blows this rain completely all over us and hits maybe just on the other side of the Olifant's Kop Pass. That'd be quite nice. Yo.
I said that tornado that ripped the roof off.
Yeah, so about 3-4 months ago. Was that towards the end of winter? I think it was. It was towards the end of winter. I think around about June, we had some really, really bad winds. And down at the coastline, there was some really big swirls. And there was a lot of damage. If some of you have been to Kenton Rock, you might know Carriage Rock. It's no longer Carriage Rock anymore because the swell had broken it. It was a pretty big rock that actually looked like a carriage, like a little pram. The swell had come up and pushed the whole rock over completely, which is crazy because it would have had to come up pretty high. The wind took roofs off some of the houses here, or one of the houses here at Amakhala, at Löwenbosch. And it deposited it how far? Like 15 meters away, maybe more. It took it off and dropped it somewhere else, and there were people in that house as well. So yeah, that wind, I couldn't tell you how fast that wind was blowing at the time, but there was an awful lot of wind, and it felt like our house was shaking. I don't know what it would have been like to have stayed in a tent on a night like that. I mean, quite possibly have your fly sheet taken off your tent very easily, let alone your whole tent flying away. But yeah, that's the kind of the worst I've experienced. And second to that, I've actually been in Cape Town watching water leave the ocean. Kind of the wind just blew it up and then it just dissipated. It didn't see the water come back down to the water again, didn't see it landing. It was interesting. We're going to send you to a virtual safari now of Mabula from earlier in this year.
Good morning, good morning. It is not a warm morning here on Mabula. You can see there's something is brewing. We had a very windy day yesterday. That's why we're doing a driving start this morning, because it's been windy and cold and miserable. Yesterday, the dust everywhere, wind. So we found a white rhino here. He's also not sure about this weather and what's going on this morning. There's a pearl-spotted owlet calling behind us. Very cool. So we were just talking about the little pearl-spotted owlet that was calling behind us. Isn't this guy so cute? So sorry, the light is not great. He's looking away from us, so you can't exactly see the phantom eyes. Sometimes he's got these phantom eyes on the back of his head. So when a larger bird of prey might be trying to catch him, you're not sure which is his face and which is the back of his head. Oh, he's looking at us. And he's so cute. So we've just found some bush pigs here, folks. First time we've managed to get them actually really nicely on screen. Aren't they beautiful? Seem quite chilled. I must say I've never seen bush pig as much as I've seen here at Mabula. How crazy is this? Beautiful colorations. Oh man. The bush pig we've seen before didn't have as much white. It's actually 3. There's another one to the left. Big one coming into the left. Wow. Check at that. I'm hoping they're going to come through this thick area towards us here. So we've just watched these 2 little crested francolin crossing the road here, and BK and I were saying how crested francolin are one of my favorite of all francolin species. I mean, I do like the Lathium's forest franklin's also pretty cool, but it looks very similar to this little crested francolin, and they're just so spunky. They're so full of life. Like, they've just crossed the road in front of us. Oh my gosh, it's up in the tree. Little bush chickens. You see, you never know what to expect with these birds. When did they get in the tree? Look at the Egyptian geese flying over. Such noisy birds. Goodness gracious. There's a bit of a territorial tiff going on here. What a day. What a day. Yeah, so we got this update of the sighting, but I didn't think, one, there was a chance we'd get here in time, and two, I didn't think that yeah, there were going to be so many vehicles here, but it seems like all the vehicles have cleared out and we've got the sighting actually to ourselves. So we're just waiting for a perfect moment to approach, giving them some time. So we're going to approach now. I can't believe these two cheetah have actually killed two blesbok. Cool, so yeah, the one male seems to be completely fully engorged. He's moved off to the right. He's no longer feeding anymore. His stomach is bulging. And then we've got obviously this other cheetah that's still feeding away here. Oh, the other one is in the bushes there. He's panting away. This cheetah is still feeding. So shucks, a cheetah in one sitting can eat anything between 8 to 10 kilograms in one sitting. And yeah, they generally do need to feed or make a kill every second to third day, depending on what they actually kill. So like these two blesbok they've killed today, I'm sure that will keep them full for a couple of days. Probably won't need to make another kill for another 4 to 5 days, but yeah, if they kill something small like a steenbok or a duiker, if they're lucky a warthog, then they'll definitely have to eat quite shortly after, maybe the next day. This is our So Mabula magic has definitely not disappointed us again this morning. BK and I set out super early this morning. We were already searching, combing some of the roads that I was convinced we might find brown hyena or leopard. By 5:30 we were out there. It was very cold, very windy. Yeah, it's rather cold here today. It's been a great morning. I hope you've enjoyed it if you've been watching with us. And yeah, BK and I are gonna need some, yeah, I don't know, snap out of it almost moment, because it doesn't feel like it's been a real. So yeah, from us here at Mabula, we're wishing you an incredible day. Keep warm, keep safe, and we will see you on the sunset safari. Maybe, if we're lucky, the cheetah will still be here.
Well, that was a nice virtual safari there with Kerry in Mabula. Always nice to be on that side. But yeah, we have made our way to another dam here, known as a Treehouse Dam, also known as BK's Dam of Nothing. And we are just sitting here, just enjoying the sunset at the moment, just having a little bit of a quiet time. I think it's always important just to sit back and reflect on what's been happening over the last few days for the weekend. And yeah. Just enjoying nature, the sounds of nature, and all the birds chirping away. Beautiful sunset. Nice to have a little bit of cloud in the sky, like there on the horizon. I think that's always makes the sunset more dramatic. Oh, even the hippo's turning around there. Oh no. Come on, Dewey, are you going to play with your stick here? Oh, he's doing a roly-poly here. Look at those legs. It's funny. Dewey, well done. Great roll over that. It was nice the other day he had his stick with him, but unfortunately as we went live he decided to not perform with his stick anymore. Like, he's got this lovely little branch that he keeps on biting onto, and then he tosses it all over the show back and forth, and that was quite funny. Oh, Gina, yes, Dewey's coming out. What's he doing? He's going to yawn for us? What are you doing? Or maybe he's looking for his branch that he plays with. Well, he definitely has made this dam his, because there's no other hippos. Well, the other day there was another hippo here. I think Ben had 2 for the afternoon, but then the other one disappeared again. Nice little big yawn there. He knows that he's getting ready for the evening. Oh. So once that sun sets, it's nice and cool and much darker, and then you'll find that this male hippo will venture out from the water. He'll travel quite far looking for some nice grasses to feed on. And then early in the morning, before that sun comes up, he's already back in the dam.
Experience the magic of the wild on an unforgettable 4-night safari at Mabula Nature Reserve. Hosted by the one and only Stephen Falconbridge. With Steve as your private guide, you'll gain incredible insights into Africa's wildlife, leaving with knowledge and memories to last a lifetime. Get hands-on with conservation, track elusive cheetahs, and even take to the skies on a hot air balloon ride. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
At Peridot Optics, we're enthusiasts, explorers, and advocates for unparalleled visual experiences. Our journey is a passion for the outdoors and a commitment to enhancing how you see the world by providing cutting-edge sporting optics personalized for you, your lodge, your business, or your best friend.
Use the promo code seen on screen at the checkout to get your discount today.
We are committed to creating high-quality optical products that deliver clear, immersive views, fostering a deeper connection with nature.
With us on a beautiful wildlife journey with Safari Spotlight. 4 unique South African locations, countless unforgettable moments, jam-packed with exhilarating and inspiring wildlife sightings, bringing you intimate and exciting virtual safaris.
And it jumped up like this and shimmied all the way up.
Enjoy jaw-dropping moments as we tell authentic conservation stories. Safari Spotlight is your ticket into the heart of the African wild. Safari, wine, and waterfalls. The ultimate African adventure. Sip South Africa's finest wines Experience a world-class safari among Africa's iconic wildlife. And stand in front of Victoria Falls, one of the natural wonders of the world. All this can be yours with Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
That are hanging down. These are probably about 40 to 50 centimeters in length, but they can get up to nearly a meter. So rather unusual things to find. And they can be on the tree for a long time. They can take a long time to ripen, but when they do, they dry out. They will drop off, they will split open, and there are seeds and sort of a pulp inside, which is relished by various birds and even some mammals. There's good protein within them. And they're also believed to have some sort of spiritual effect as well. They're a good luck charm for a hunt, so they can be cooked over the coals, and that will ensure a successful hunt, apparently, as well as inhaling the smoke will potentially relieve your headache symptoms as well. So good things to know. But probably another interesting medicinal use about this tree that has been recorded, and this was noted over 100 years ago. In fact, in 1902 it became quite well known. There's a disease that we get in Africa called black water fever, which is a complication of malaria. Peace, yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it, but yeah, there's so much interesting stuff, particularly the cultural beliefs of this tree. So should you ever find yourself afflicted with black water fever, which is a complication from some of the malaria plasmodiums that you can get, so black water fever can be caused by malaria, and I don't know too much about it, but it doesn't sound very pleasant. It's when the red blood cells actually burst and all the hemoglobin, the stuff in your blood that makes the blood red, gets released into your veins and into your arteries as opposed to being contained within the red blood cells themselves. And that can cause anemia. It can cause rather unpleasant other side effects, including turning your urine a sort of a reddish brown blackish colour because of the presence of the blood, hence the name black water fever. But supposedly an extract of the bark or a decoction of the roots has been proven quite successful in treating black water fever. And in 1902, Dr. Sullivan Beer realised this, and he actually sort of bottled this fluid and made it available on the commercial market. I don't know how successful it was or whether it actually sort of ever took off, but it is quite normal, and we're still happening this day and age, to find medicinal properties within trees, and many of today's modern day medicines are now synthesized but were originally discovered from chemicals and things that have been found in trees over the years. So some interesting stuff, but that is a shambok pod or a long-tailed cassia. They do produce beautiful yellow flowers at the right time of year. I don't know if they've already flowered or whether the flowering is to come. But nice to see those big pods nonetheless hanging, dangling down, look a bit like a leopard's tail. But that's ultimately what we're going to be looking for now. So we are on the eastern side of Chitwe, we're east of the airstrip. I know Taylor saw Kachava in this area a couple of weeks ago. So we're keeping our eyes open, but we haven't found any tracks yet. No, don't worry, Nadine, that wasn't a herd of snakes. What's the collective noun for snakes? A slither of snakes? A coil of snakes? I don't know if there's an official collective noun for snakes. There must be a pit. Maybe there is one. Well, if anybody knows, you can let me know. Otherwise, we must come up with some creative ones. A horror movie of snakes, Nadine? No, I don't think so. An Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark of snakes. There must be I'm sure there must be a snakes on a plane. Now you're just naming movies, or between us we're just naming movies that have snakes in. Anaconda, I'm sure there's lots of B-rate monster movies involving giant snakes. Tremors, that's one of my all-time favourites. It is a slither of snakes. Well, thank you, the internet. Yeah, if I think of snakes, I think of Tremors, which has nothing to do with snakes, but those tongues that shoot out are like giant slug snakes. Sorry, Jill on the Hill, a what of snakes? A fear of snakes, was that? Well, I think a slither of snakes makes the most sense. Educated guess. A fear of snakes. Well, a lot of people do have that. Unnecessarily so, I might add as well. I think poor snakes have a bit of a hard time of it. They are feared by so many. But they're just doing their thing, man, and they're controlling the population of rodents and doing some good things, and I can assure you they're far more afraid of you than you are of it. And it's a very well-known overwhelming percentage, like 90-something% of all snake bites occur to people who are either trying to kill the snake or to catch and handle the snake. So what do we learn from that? Leave the snake alone, give it an escape route, usher it out the door if you have to. But generally speaking, as long as you respect the snake, you shouldn't have any great problems. Some snakes from cheeky baby Ellie, the house of Slytherin indeed. But there is no sign of Kuchaba or tracks. I haven't seen a leopard track for like 2 days. It's very strange, but we're just waiting perhaps for one to pop out in front of us. But it's nice to see some of the vegetation. Certainly I enjoyed the time up at Mabula, seeing some unusual trees up there and reacquainting myself with some of the bushveld trees that I haven't seen too many of in different areas here. Roundleaf teak have just driven past, and a lot of green thorns in this area. But we see quite a few cassias, but I don't often see them with those seed pods hanging down, so I thought it was worth showing you. Alright, let's send you back over to Cedric and see if he's had any feline fortune.
Thank you, Ben. Yeah, it is what it is at the moment with the cat situation. I mean, if they're not here, they're not here. I mean, you can only do so much, and we can pick up on a track, then it's fine, then you can try. But there's no tracks to be seen for any leopards, lions for the last 2 days. But that's all right, you know, things can always change up very quickly, especially now at this time of the evening. The sun is busy setting, it's getting a little bit darker. And I'm hoping now this is where even the lions will become more active. I know that they had lions in Hofmans, that's just south from where we are now, south of Djuma, another property called Hofmans. They had lions apparently coming into this direction this morning, so I'm just going to go there just to check. Hopefully if those lions are getting active, hopefully that it will be coming over onto Djuma. So I'm going to give that one a little bit of a go there and go and take a look. Once again, Nene is still on Simbambili, that young male leopard. He's all the way on Simbambili. He's been there for the last week, hanging around the dam area, Simbambili Dam. He's been loving life there. But yeah, he'll also move again. Sooner or later, he also has to start moving into this area. Shadulu, no idea. I haven't heard any. Haven't got any updates about that female leopard or Shadulu. So I haven't picked up on anything like that. I might just do one of the roads here called Monkey Orange. Lisa on Laluka. Oh, that female leopard Laluka. Oh, no updates. Last I heard, she was at a place called Piccaninny, Utah. Piccaninny, Utah is Simbambili on the, how can I say, far western side of Simbambili, fence line, that area. So yeah, she was last seen down there. She might go west from her mom's territory, from Tiani's territory, so she might go west into Robson's, Ottawa. She might end up going that side, very possible. I think she realized this area is a no-go after she got a proper hiding from Tlalamba. Oh, look at the little pickles. It's going to go behind there for Panda. Panda, I'm just going to go around this side. I'm going to see it's just like a little A baby impala there. Hello. There we go. A little youngster, little lamb, impala lamb with the females. There's only one little lamb. Oh, there's a whole lot there. Ooh. Alright, they got quite a fright. They don't look too relaxed, huh? So I'm just looking around this area. So we're on the southwestern corner of Djuma at the moment. I'm moving off. Alright, let's go on Monkey Orange. There's a road that's just here. Haven't done this road for quite some time. What is this? Sorry, I just saw something here. Oh no, that's just the wildebeest poo. Alright, let's go around. Yeah, Nadine, I'm hoping something's going to pop out here very soon for us. I full on agree with you. Let's hope, let's cross fingers. So it's been, everything has just jumped off of Djuma for the last 2 days. Alright, well, we're going to go up on this road. Let's head back to Eric down there in Amakala to see if he's had any luck on any predators on his side.
I'm west. I'm scratching around looking just for Ellie here. 3 amigos are not here. Opposite, they are very, and we wanted to potentially look for some odd wolf. Maybe out for us. Yeah, I think.
Alright, back with us. Sorry, I think there was not great signal at the other locations at the moment, or the other feeds, but that's fine. Stick with me while we are in search for something here on the western boundary of Djuma. Always nice, lovely. I love this time of the evening. Always so nice, because now, you know, it just feels like, you know, there's something that can pop out now. You know, some nocturnal animal that'll just show itself for us, which would be fantastic now. That would be nice. Maybe a shudulu on a shudulu. This is her territory, that female leopard. That's all the area. Well, as you know, this is still live and interactive, so if you've got any comments, questions, if you just want to have a good old chat with us here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon sunset safari, please jump on board and give us a shout out, and yeah, let us know your thoughts on what have you enjoyed about the bush, and what do you enjoy about these safaris, and which characters would you like to see in the next week. And yeah, all those amazing things that happens here in Wild Earth. So I think tomorrow I'm going to just do a little experiment for myself. I'm actually going to give it to Ben. So I'm going to go grab that red fruit, that wild cucumber, make a nice little jam for him, a wild cucumber jam. Add some olive oil to it, and yeah, we're going to feed that to Ben tomorrow. So if you do not see Ben on Tuesday morning, well, then you know that it is not edible. Yeah, red-crested Quran shouting in the background there, but can't see it quite far. And oh yeah, Nadine, I'm sure Ben can't wait. Oh yeah. All right, well, talking about the man that's going to be experimenting that funny fruit tomorrow, let's head over to him and see exactly what's been happening on Chitwa.
Well, I have not had the pleasure of Cedric's culinary expertise, so I suppose I will look forward to that. But yes, if you don't see me again, at least you know what happened. In the meantime, however, we have found some waterbuck. There was a little group of them. The rest of them, I think, are heading slowly down towards the dam. We've just got one female here, but she's been watching something rather intently over there. So I'm just trying to see what it is that's attracted her attention, almost as if she's going in for a closer look. But there is a wildebeest in the distance there, so whether she's just seen some movement and she's just going in to investigate, I think that's all that's happening. But these animals are so well tuned to potential, say, movement in the bushes or flashes of colour, and obviously their livelihood depends on it. So maybe she's just going to investigate. But yes, there's a little herd of wildebeest in the distance, and I've just seen some more waterbuck as well. So just doing a bit of due diligence, just making sure that the coast is clear. But we have failed miserably to find any evidence of Kachava in our little Chitwa cruise, but that's all right. It's still been a lovely afternoon. It was nice to refamiliarise myself with Chitwa. I haven't been here yet on this current cycle, so it was nice to be able to try and remember some of these roads. I've always been a bit confused by Chitwa's roads, but one doesn't normally have to go much further than the dam to find some interesting things. So there's the wildebeest in the distance. I wonder if that's what she was going to investigate. Well, Anushka, the last time I personally saw wild dogs was up at Mabulla a couple of weeks ago when I was up there. I think that might be about it for our waterbuck, getting a little bit too far away. The last time dogs were seen here, I'm going to defer that one to Mpho. Mpho, do you know?
I think when Talamba made that kill.
Oh, when Cedric nearly got smashed by Talamba. Yeah, what was that, about a couple of weeks ago? Yeah, so we're due a dog sighting. But I think let's carry on. We're beginning to lose light as well here now. It's getting a bit difficult for long range stuff. But yeah, dogs would be great. And Paul's had it in his head that we were going to get dogs this afternoon. He's been very pro a dog sighting, but we may have to wait another day. But I think it is about time that we saw dogs again, certainly. But I was very fortunate up at Mabulla. I think we had sightings of the dogs 4 times. We had a beautiful one at sunset with them moving across an open plain out on the hunt. And then probably the highlight was, well, definitely the highlight was when we were sitting with an aardwolf, an incredibly relaxed aardwolf. It was only I don't know if some of you were lucky enough to see that bit of segment that we did, but this little aardwolf was lying maybe 15 meters off the road, quite chilled, completely oblivious to our presence. Start the car, stop the car, move the car. It didn't even twitch, so obviously quite habituated, which is very special for me because it was only the second aardwolf I have ever seen, and I did not expect to get sort of a 15-minute sighting with one. They've got the skinniest little legs. They're weird. It's like somebody hit a hyena with a shrink ray. It's weird. And then whilst we were watching them, the dogs popped out. So we got dogs and aardwolf in the same sighting, which was pretty epic.
Join Wild Earth Travel on a unique nature adventure in the Greater Kruger Park. Legendary master tracker Renius Mhlongo leads a 4-day animal tracking experience followed by 3 nights in the Sabi Sand Nature Reserve. This experience offers a life-changing chance to track Africa's iconic animals on foot with a master of his craft. Renius is joined by Wild Earth presenter and expert storyteller Amy Krantz, and together they will connect you to Africa's wild heart.
Become a Wild Earth YouTube member and unlock exclusive bonuses and benefits. Enjoy uninterrupted, ad-free streams so you can stay immersed in nature. Have your burning questions answered first by me or other expert naturalists. Enjoy exclusive access to special broadcasts and videos, and help us to connect people to nature.
We have some exciting news. To celebrate our new safari location, Mabula Private Game Reserve, Wild Earth Travel is offering an exclusive special offer for our viewers only. Book a stay for 4 nights or more at any of the lodges on Mabula Private Game Reserve and enjoy an extra night absolutely free. Don't miss this limited time offer. Contact Wild Earth Travel today to claim your discount. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
Kenya's people, the landscapes and spectacular wildlife make it the ultimate safari destination. Come with me to the Masai Mara and Amboseli in May 2025. We'll explore the vast savannas looking for predators and then marvel at Kilimanjaro as the last big tuskers graze below. This safari is the perfect nature connection to calm the soul and escape from the world's folly.
Got to find food, and it's not easy to find. You do eventually move very far away from your homes, but I think, you know, for them it would be, for more of the males it would be a territory, because we've been seeing aardwolf along this road for years. It's not the first time these aardwolf have been seen on this road. My understanding, when Morgan and Steve were here, you found an aardwolf foot. So the cheetah obviously have also been up here. And the same thing happened at Amma North with the female cheetah. She found an aardwolf and she executed it. It's just one of those things that happen. Cats will be very protective over, you know, their territories. Even though an aardwolf is not really much of a threat because it eats termites and beetles, perhaps it thought it was potentially an animal that was going to do harm to it. It's her cubs or her subadults at that stage, or her livestock, or her pantry. She doesn't want her pantry dented. It's a little bit different now that the corridor's open and the lions are allowed to go over there. I'm sure they've done a bit of denting to her pantry there. Temperature at the moment is not very hot at all. In fact, it's pretty chilly. The temperature dropped. So it dropped 10 degrees at 3, 12, oh, even earlier than that. So the temperature dropped quite drastically throughout the day. But I would say in the middle of the day, around like 11 o'clock, 10, well, so 9:30, 10, 11, you know, it was 28 degrees at 7 o'clock this morning. So it must have got to around the 30s, the 40s, around about 10, 11, all the way over until about 12, 1, where the temperature then started to plummet when this wind kicked up. And this wind has brought in a lot of cold air, which has it's sort of cooled down the Earth's surface. We're going to do a 2.10 here and go right back up the road that we just came down. Anywhere else we go and we might lose signal. We don't want to be doing that.
Wildlife and BirdLife South Africa are inviting you to join us on a 6-day birding tour to Valgevonden Private Game Reserve.
We have just had our efforts paid off.
Hosted by the world-famous birder John Kinghorn, who is a leader in the global conservation charity BirdLife South Africa.
And what a morning we have had.
This cannot be missed. Book your spot now and help protect BirdLife. We are thrilled to announce our new exclusive feature for YouTube members and explorers. Join us live every Tuesday for our sunrise and sunset safaris. Experience Tawny Tuesday like never before with up-close encounters and breathtaking moments. Don't miss out. Become a YouTube member or explorer today and immerse yourself in the heart of the bush. See you Tuesday.
We understand that not everybody has got spare pennies to rub together at the end of the month. We're introducing an initiative called Gift an Explorer.
So that those with lots of pennies can gift a Wild Earth Explorer access to those with fewer.
We're aiming for 250 gifts, but the more the merrier.
You can nominate a recipient or keep it anonymous.
It's a great way to share the Wild Earth mission with other nature lovers around the world.
Are you ready for the adventure of a lifetime? Wild Earth Travel's newsletter is your passport to a magical journey. Explore exclusive travel options featuring special offers at stunning Wild Earth locations and all hosted by your favorite presenters. Don't miss out. Head over to our website and subscribe to the Wild Earth Travel newsletter today and stay in the know on all our unforgettable adventures. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
Of aggression that we have here. We're gonna send you over to Ben, see what's happening up there in Djuma.
Yeah, hold on to something, Eric, don't get blown away. Well, we have left Chitta, we are back on Djuma now, and it is time, I suppose, to start crossing all our fingers for that last minute leopard, down to the last 10 minutes or so, but it was nice to be back on Djuma. And yes, I shall continue with that wild dog and, or thinking about that aardwolf and wild dog sighting, and there's a few other things that I would very much like to see again. I was hoping to see up in Mabula. I went looking for caracal a couple of times. I know it's outrageous that we've put caracal on the screen. I think 3 drives in a row Eric had that caracal. That's just ridiculous. I haven't seen a caracal for a very long time, but they do see them up at Mabula from time to time. I check the areas more than well, probably more than 3 occasions, but had no good fortune. They said they also did get serval from time to time, which I have not seen for years, so I'd be very keen to find a serval. I've only ever seen one striped polecat. That was actually at Swalu when I was doing some freelance guiding up there many years ago. And strangely, one thing I've never seen is a hedgehog. Never seen a hedgehog in the wild. European hedgehogs that are introduced and kept as pets over here, yes, I've seen those. I actually had one for a while. We called him Harry because somebody found one and they brought it to me because they know I like wildlife. Had no idea what to do with the hedgehog, but after a couple of vet trips, it had almost no spines, which apparently it lost because it was stressed. It obviously either escaped from somebody's garden because it wasn't a traditional African hedgehog or an endemic African hedgehog. But yeah, somebody found it on the road and brought it to us and ended up holding on to it for 3 or 4 months. It got a cage and everything, and we then gave it to a friend of ours who had more time and really wanted a hedgehog. And this was the cutest little thing. It lived out its last year or so of its life, would join her and sit on her lap whilst they watched movies together in the evenings, so he became very friendly, old Harry the Hedgehog. So we like to think that he had a good last year or so of his life after what must have been a stressful experience, because he was always completely bald on his back. He had a patch about that big of absolutely no quills at all. But never ever ever in best part of 20 years seen an endemic African hedgehog, so that's still something I need to tick off the list. And don't get me started on green twin spots, because that's a bird that I refuse to believe exists anymore. Oh, fork-tailed drongo. The leopard is this way. But it is about time Columba pops out. Oh, Mulwati. I haven't seen Mulwati since I've been back. And we've had his tracks in this area a couple of days ago. Well, if elephants can do maths, why can't birds give cryptic directions to the location of leopards? Why not? Generally speaking, I'm actually going to have a look. There must be some experiments must have been done with whether elephants can count and do basic maths. I see no reason why they can't. Come on, little Lumber, where are you? She's been hiding for the last 48 hours. If she did have a kill, it's about time that she did show herself. Well, if anybody is going to find us a last-minute leopard, it is probably the leopard magnet himself, Mr. Cedric. So let's send us over to him for the last few minutes and all cross our fingers he has some last-minute leopard luck.
I think maybe I'll find the last-minute leopard. I think, just hold on. I think I saw something. Did you also see that, Panda? Yeah. Ben is challenging us to find the last leopard, eh? Yeah. Let's see, because I think I heard something calling here now. I just heard some sawing happening this side. Let's see. No, I heard it here, Nadine, I heard it. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Here's the leopard. It's it smells. It's a leopard tortoise. You can get it there, Panda. But this is unfortunately the dead leopard tortoise. Yep. So unfortunately, that one we found not yesterday, the day before. We found that leopard tortoise here. Something killed it. Now it's just sitting on the side of the road. And well, it's leopard. It's got the leopard word in it. So, but yo, does it? It's yeah, it's humming. Definitely stinking quite a bit. Dela, you are most welcome. Always good to have the giggles and laughs along the drive. I think we can always say, you know, we can't always be too serious in life. We've got to have some fun out in the bush and have some laughter. I think laughter is always a good remedy, a good medication to a person's soul, to a person's body, and I think it's always very, very important. But as always, everybody, once again, thank you so much for all the amazing comments and questions that everybody has sent through to us this afternoon on this lovely Sunday afternoon. And I'm hoping that you enjoyed this drive just as much as we did. Yes, we did not find the big cats and all that, but it's not always about the cats, you know. Sometimes it's about show and tell, and just to have that interaction with everybody out there from all sides of the world and from all walks of life, and I think that is always important to bring everybody together. But yes, please make sure that you do join us again on a Tuesday morning for our sunrise safari, and that will be happening at 5 o'clock a.m. Central African time. From me, Panda, from the Wild Earth crew, have a wonderful evening further. We will see you on Tuesday morning. Good evening. Good night.
Hello everyone, a very good morning from Bandhavgarh National Park and welcome to another edition of Virtual Safari. I'm your host Suyash Keshri. I'm a professional wildlife filmmaker and presenter, and I will be your host for this series. Behind me on the first camera is Himanshu. On second camera we have